Hi, so we are going to talk about our third topic, which is actually electric potential energy and electric potential. They're actually very easy. You just have to follow the formula or familiarize yourself with the formula or their formula. Okay, so first let's go to what is electric potential energy. Or first, what is potential energy? Potential energy is one of the two mechanical energies. We have different kinds of energy. We have heat energy, we have electrical energy, we have mechanical energy. Okay, so under the mechanical energy, we have potential and kinetic. Okay, potential is when your object is at rest. It has this energy waiting, like say waiting to be unleashed or turned into another kind of energy. So most of the time it is kinetic energy. It transforms to kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is a kind of energy that your that a moving object has. No, so kung atras siya, then it is potential energy. Pag moving siya, that is kinetic energy. Okay? Now, potential energy in mechanical energy has the same, let's say, the same concept with electric potential energy here in our topic. Okay, so electric potential energy, it is the energy that is stored, but it is stored by in a uniform electric field, no? Tapos ginagamit nimo na siya para mapamove nimo ang imuhang charge, because we're talking about charges here because this is electric energy. Okay, so electric potential energy has this kaniyahang formula. Okay, so potential energy has a symbol of U, big U. Then, since naman tay potential energy sa mechanical nga energy, naapod tay ginabutang nga UE. Okay? So, para i-note nato na this is an electric potential energy. So, UE. It means it is an electrical potential energy. So electric potential energy has a formula or is equal to the K, which is our Coulomb's constant, if you still remember our Coulomb's law, that is 8.988 times 10 raised to 9 Newton meter squared over Coulomb squared. Okay, so then we have our charges. So unlike the Coulomb's law, this will not dili nimo need na i-absolute value ang duha ka charge. So as is ra sila. If unsa ilang, if positive ba sila, if negative ba sila, then it will matter. Okay? Then that is over R. So the it means that your R and your U is actually inversely proportional with each other. With greater distance, you will have smaller electric potential energy. Okay? And your potential energy or electric potential energy is directly proportional to your charges. So, mas dako ang imuhang charge, mas dako ang imuhang electric potential energy. So, this is just what you need to memorize or familiarize yourself for now. Okay? So, that it is similar to the Coulomb's law, pero si Coulomb's law lang is R squared siya. Si energy or si electric potential energy is just R over R only. Now, our unit for energy is in joules. Okay, so tanan na energy, we have potential energy, mechanical energy, electric potential energy. So as long as they are energy, is a kind of energy, their unit or your basic unit is actually your standard unit is in joules. J ang ilahang ibutang joules, that is their symbol, big J, or we can call it joules. Okay, so now, electric potential energy is different from electric potential. Electric potential is, or what we call potential, is potential energy per unit charge. So pila ang iyahang mag-garner or iyahang ma-store na energy kada charge. So the more it is actually notes the symbol for electric potential is actually V. V. V na siya. V. See here? That is V. So natay duha ka buok nga formula for electric potential. So we have here, if you're given, depende na siya sa iyang given. So kung given nimo is potential energy and charge, then you can use this first one. If your next example is, or ang imong next na, or given nimo, or next problem nimo is charge and distance with each other, then that will be the second formula. So tanaw ra gid nimo siya carefully, or let's say basahon nimo carefully ang imong problem so that you know what formula to use. Okay, so now potential energy is or has a unit of volts. That is volts. Oops, sorry. Di siya volts. And it has a big V na symbol. So V. Okay, so that is electric potential. What is the difference between electric potential and electric potential energy? Electric potential energy is a kind of energy that is stored with your charge, or that can be stored in your charge para makamove sila later on. No? So then we have the electric potential, which is kung pila ang na-store na energy kada charge. So, pila imong na charge. Pila imong na-store na energy kada charge. So let's say that the more energy that you have, the more electric potential you have. Okay, so we have here an example. So actually, puro mga example na lang niya siya because they are very easy to understand and very easy to follow. You just have to familiarize yourself with the formula, and formula is usually given in our exams. So, for example, we have here, if a charge of magnitude of 6.5 times 10 raised to negative 17 coulombs is being held in place 2 times 10 raised to negative 8 meters from a charge of negative 8 times 10 raised to negative 19 coulomb, which is also being held in place. Okay, so what is the electric potential energy of the system? So, ang atong ipangita diri is ang electric potential energy of the system, or the UE, or pwede good UE is equal to K, what is our Q1, which is the 6.5 times 10 raised to negative 17, and we have the Q2, which is the negative 8 times 10 raised to negative 19. So remember that wala sila absolute value. So kung positive si Q1 and negative si Q2, dapat ibutang gid nimo siya. Okay? Then over our R, which is 2 times 10, which is 2 times 10 raised to negative 8. So that is our formula because we're talking, or we need the electric potential energy. So you just have to put it there. Tangin mo, atong K is 8.988 times 10 raised to positive 9. 988 times 10 raised to 9. Okay? Ibutang nimo siya dira sa K. Your Q1 is 6.5, then 6.5. Then Q2 is negative 8 times 10 raised to negative 19. And your R is 2 times 10 raised to negative 8. So, if we are to solve that, okay, so pag atoan na silang isolve, it will be this. Okay. So, we have our Q1, 6.5. Tang na to. Then our Q2, negative 8. Our R, our K, and we need to find the U. So, you just put it all. And we have our electric potential energy of negative 2.34 times 10 raised to negative 17 joules. Okay, so that is why dapat na atong imuhang positive or negative na charge, no sign sa imuhang charge when you are solving, because it is an energy, potential energy. So your potential energy will actually depend on your charges. So kung negative sila nga potential energy or positive na potential energy. Okay. So then the next one we have here. So a particle with a charge of 5 nanocoulomb has a distance of 0.5 meters away from another charge that is 9.5 nanocoulombs. Remember that N is nano. No? So I hope wala pa ninyo siya na nakalimtan that mu or mu and coulomb, that is times 10 raised to negative 6. If it's N, that is times 10 raised to negative 9. If it is M, millicoulomb, then that is times 10 raised to negative 3. If that is PC, then that is pico, that is times 10 raised to negative 12. Kaya na siya. No, so remember that. Okay, so let's go back here. We are talking, or we are finding the electric potential energy. So we are going to use the U is equal to KQ1, Q2 over R. So ibutang rani mo atong mga given, which is the 5 times 10 raised to negative 9 as our Q1. Q2 is 9.5 times 10 raised to negative 9. Then we have our R, which is 0.5 meters. Then our K. So ibutang rani mo tanan sila ani nga formula nato, and you will have this answer. Okay, so your answer is 8.54 times 10 raised to negative 7. Okay, para maklaro. Okay, so i-multiply rin mo si K, Q1, Q2 over your R, which is 0.5 meters. Ano dayon? Next is we have here, find the electric potential at a distance of 8 centimeters from a 7.5 picocoulomb charge. Okay, so we're talking about, or we are finding the electric potential. And electric potential is kaning kaduha, no? Tong V. We're talking about V. Pero asa man dira sa duha ang atong gamiton? We have a distance. So tanaw nato tong na ay R, because distance is R. So we will use this formula. Kaya siya may na distance. Okay, so na ay charge, which is 7.58 picocoulomb. Pico is negative 12, or times 10 raised to negative 12. So if we are to write it down or solve it, that will be like this. Remember that ningon siya na that our distance is 8 centimeters. So you need to convert it first into meters before putting it in our formula, or ato ang solution, I mean. No, so that is our K, 8.988 times 10 raised to 9. Our Q is 7.58 times 10 raised to negative 12, because it's pico, over our R, which is 0.08 meters. So we have 0.85 volts. That is our potential. Okay, dali naman, di ba? Okay, number 4. What is the electric potential given 0.58 meters away from an 18 microcoulomb charge? Microcoulomb. Okay, so since we have distance and we're finding the electric potential, so maura gihapon natong gamiton nga formula ganina sa number 3, that is KQ over R, 0.58 meters. So that will be your K, then your Q, which is 18 microcoulomb. So that will be 18 times 10 raised to negative 6. Okay, microman. Okay, over your R, which is 0.58. So, bale, if you are to solve that, that will be like this. Your K, your Q over your R. So we have 278,937.93. Ayaw mo ka-shock. Yes, it can reach that potential. Ka-reach na siya nga na. Kadako. Okay? So this is electricity. So that is why it can have bigger potentials. Okay? Now we have here 5, 6, 7. But 5 and 6 needs derivation. Okay? Needs siya derivation gamay. And that is because, tanawin mo number 5, calculate the amount of electric potential energy possessed by 2.52 charge times 10 raised to negative 10, then a point where the electric potential is 4.70 volts. Okay? So kung tanaw na to itong given, naa siya charge and naa siya potential. Pero iyang gipangita kay electric potential energy, which is Cu. Therefore, dili nimo siya magamit ning electric potential energy nga formula. Because of the given, we don't have another charge, we don't have distance. So, ang atong gamiton ana nga naay V, naay Q, and naay U is actually this kani siya nga formula na gikan sa electric potential. So you just have to derive them. No? So, bata na to diri derive na to. So that will be explain na ko nga ano na siya ha. So it will be like from the original V over Q na ata ginapangita nato is Cu. So as I have always done before, so we have to multiply both sides by Q, transpose nato, multiply both sides by Q, or then we can get this formula, which is U is equal to coulomb charge multiplied by voltage, or not voltage, potential, I mean, lahi si voltage. Okay, so mo na siya itong gigamit today. So your charge, 2.52 times 10 raised to negative 10, and we have 4.70 as our potential. Okay, so multiply that both, we have 1.18 times 10 raised to 19. 9 joules, because we're talking about, or we are finding the electric potential energy, so that is in joules. Okay, next is we have number 6. Number 6 is we're talking we're finding the charge. What is the quantity of the point charge? But ang iyang given is na siya R and naa siya potential. So, atong gamitan ana is this part here, or kani siya nga formula. Kani isa ka electric potential, because it has V, it has R, and we're finding the Q. So, we need to derive it first para makuha siya. From the original, which is V KQ over R, so V is equal to KQ over R. Over R. Pangitaan na to si Q. So you need to multiply both sides by R and divide both sides by K. Okay, so cancel. So that will be Q is equal to RV over K. Tingnan na siya pag-derive. Okay? So, yan na dayan. So, your V is your negative 8.41 times 10 raised to 5 volts. Your R is 0.92 meters. and your K, which is the 8.988 times 10 raised to 9. Ano siya? So, solve ra dayon nimo, multiply nimo ang duha, and ang iyang result or yung product will be divided by your K. So, we have a charge of negative 8.61 times 10 raised to negative 5. Which is predictable because the electric potential is negative. So, pag negative ang mong electric potential, it means ang imong charge na present dira is actually negative charge too. Ano siya? Oh, wait, sorry. Now, let's go to number 7. Number 7 is, okay, naatay duha ka buok na charge. We have charge 1 and we have charge 2. Okay. So, charge 1 or Q1 has a charge of 4 microcoulomb and your Q2 has negative 7 microcoulomb. Okay, so paging ana, we're talking about electric potential here. No, so natay electric potential. So since we're talking about electric potential, kani siya ang naaray kani siya naay charge og naay distance. No, kita ni mo siya diri na siya distance. So dili nato siya magamit ng isa. So kani itong gamiton. But as you can see in the formula, isa ra ang charge na involved. Isa ra, KQ. So it means dili pwede sila duha. So how do you solve for this one? So since we're talking about electric potential at point A, now point A experiences two potential at the same time. Ang potential na gikan kay Q1 ug ang potential na gikan kay Q2. Now, to find the electric potential at point A, dapat pangitaon sa nimo si potential 1 nagikan kay Q1 and potential 2 nga naa kay Q2. Okay? So, in other words, wait, sorry. We need to delete this. In other words, to find isa to. Ito ang so we have 2. Okay. Sorry. So then we have a line and we have point A. So this is Q1. Q1 is positive 4 microcoulombs. And Q2 is Q2 negative 7 microcoulombs. Okay, so we actually need to find the individuals first, or lang individual na potential before we can add them. Kay sa point A, sila man duha ang atoang ma-experience ni point A nga potential. So therefore, ato silang i-add if kay A tamutan-aw nga perspective or frame of reference nato si A. Okay? So since we have here, Q1 is 3.5 away from A. 3.5 and Q2 is just 1.5. So when we are talking about the KQ over R, ang R diri dili ni siya ning 5 meters nga na diri sa imong problem. Dili siya ang imong gamiton. Nganuman, that is because our charges have their nagtan-aw man ta kay A, so it means unsa ilahang distance, unsa ang distance sa mga charges sa point dili kay o sa ilahang distance from each other. Ningon man diri, the two charges are separated by 5 meters. Moto siya, 5 meters. Sila duha. Pero ang ato ang gipangita man diri is ang electric potential kay A nga naa sa tunga-tunga nila. So, ang imuhang R diri your R on V1, if you're going to look for V1, then your R1 here is kaning 3.5. Wala siya imuhang R. While in V2, Q2 over R2, your R2 is the 1.5 na distance ni Q2 padulong kay A. Okay, I hope you get it, nganong 3.5 and 1.5 atong gamiton because ang atong gitan-aw raman is ang distance from point A padulong ana nga charge. Dili ang ilahang charge to charge na distance. Okay? So, butang nato si K, then our Q1 which is 4 microcoulomb, then our R1, we will have our V1. Then, our V2. So, pag makuha na nato ang ilang individual potential, we can now add them both. So that will be V1 plus V2. Okay? So bali, yan siya. Pangitaon nato si V1 first. That will be 8.988 times 10 raised to 9 as our K. Then we have our Q1 which is 4 times 10 raised to negative 6 coulombs over 3.5 meters. That is the distance between Q1 to A. Now V2, so the V1 or potential one, or the potential one is 10,272 volts. Now V2 is same process or K, then K2 na Q2 nato which is the negative 7 times 10 raised to negative 6 over the 1.5 nga distance from Q2 to A. Okay, so that is why our answer is negative 41,944 volts. Okay? Because I have demonstrated before, we need to add them both. Kaya sila man both ang ma-experience ni A. So, VT is equal to V1 plus V2. So, this is why I told you na mag-matter ang charge diri So, positive si charge, then positive si potential. Negative si charge, then negative pod si potential. So if we are to add them, 10,272 plus the negative 41,944, you will have a total potential of negative 31,672 volts. And this is the potential that point A experiences. No, so kani siyang 31K or negative 31K, sorry, that is the electric potential that A experiences. Now, what if we have the same situation, or the same nga setup, the same nga charge, but instead of A, we will have another point, which is the point B. So, the point B, same process, we need to find their individual potentials. But, dili na nato magamit ni. Ganon dili naman, ma'am. That is because your point of reference is now here. So, Q1, pangitaon na to si V1. So, that will be Q1 over R1. Your Q1 is still 4 microcoulomb, but your R1 is actually 2 meters. Yan ang 2 meters man, ma'am, because that is the distance between the Q1 and B, 2 meters. So your R1 here becomes 2 meters. Okay, so si B naman gud ang ato ang gi-tan-aw. Dili na si A. Now, how about Q2? So, pangitawon gyapon nato iyang V2, KQ2 over R2, but R2 is now changed. Dili na siya 1.5 pareho ganina. Because Q2 is now farther away from B. So that will be 1.5 plus 3.5 plus 2 meters. So Q2 is actually 7 meters away from B. So mo ni siya atong ipang gamit dira. This 2 meters gamit dire. Same process gyapon sa katong kay point A. So we have to find their individuals first. So pag atong ibutang dira 2 meters na ato ang R, mao na may nagbag-o ang ato ang distance, no? So we have 17,976. And V2, we have the R2, which is now 7. So that is negative 8,988. So if we are to combine them, okay, mao man na siya ang electric potential ni B. So V total is equal to V1 plus V2. Your 17,976 plus negative 8,988. So your total potential that B can feel or can detect is actually 8,900 or positive 8,988 volts. So ano na siya? Okay. Now let's proceed with voltage. So voltage is not the same with potential. Okay, so then that's the voltage. So let's imagine that we have a battery. Okay, so we have a positive potential, which represents the positive terminal of your battery, and the negative side or the negative potential or the negative terminal of your battery. Okay? So, ang meaning ana is na yung mga charges diri na mga negative. Okay? And they have its own potential, as we have said earlier that potential is electric potential energy over charge. So, kung unsa imong charge negative siya, then your potential is also negative. Okay? If positive imong charge, then ang imuha pong potential is also positive. Okay? Now, because of that, na sila'y lahi-lahi na lahi-lahi na potentials. Okay? Now, voltage is when there is a potential difference between two potentials. So, meaning ana. So, basically, that will be voltage or VAB is the first potential, which is the A. So VA minus VP. So kung unsa ang ilahang potential, let's say this potential is 5 volts and this is, let's say, 3 volts, or kung dili lang battery, let's say point na lang. This is point A and this is point B. Okay, now if we're talking about their potential difference, okay, so that will be 5 volts minus 3 volts. This is the potential 1, pareho aning sa ato ang 8. Okay, so na siya yung mga potential. So if we have potential 1 and potential 2, kung pila ang ilahang bilin, mauna siya si voltage. Okay, so voltage is actually the potential difference or pilang mabilin sa imuhang potentials once they are connected or once they na sila connection with each other. Just like battery. Battery, di ba na sila ginabutang nato nga 1.5 volts, 3 volts, makita nato sa ilahang battery kung pila ang ilahang makaya or highest voltage or highest potential difference that they can achieve. That is the meaning of the voltage. Kung pila ilang highest na ma-achieve na potential difference. Okay? So remember po, the battery will not, dili siya mo gana if wala nakakonect ang positive o ang negative na terminal. No? So pag makakonect na sila, dayon siya yung voltage. No? Kay nag-flow naman ang imuhang charges. Okay? So voltage is actually the potential difference. Actually, we will discuss more of this pagka naanata sa circuits, or let's say naanata sa current or Ohm's law. Mas ma-discuss na to siya. Okay? So then we have the equipotential surface. Equipotential surface are basically a three-dimensional surface where your electric potential or your V is the same at every point. Pero, okay, field lines and equipotential surface, kabalaman ta sa field lines now, they're always radially outward or radially inward depending on the charge, if it is positive or negative. Now, field lines and your equipotential surface are perpendicular at all angle. Okay? So, field lines, so, di ba kani siya ang atong field lines. So, ang equipotential surface is kani siyang nagtuyok. Okay? The more closer you are to the charge, the more kunwari, the more duol ang equipotential surface sa atong charge, the more stronger it is. Stronger or mas dako ang iyang potential. So as you can see here, pag duol kayo siya sa charge, then that is positive, wait, tabunan. That is positive 70 because it's a positive charge. It is outward, iyang field lines. So this is 70, 70, then magkalayo siya, magkagamay. So we have 50, then 30, which is on the outermost. So na siya sa outermost, 30. Na siya tunga-tunga, 50. Nagit sa sulod, 70. So kung na sila attraction, this is what we call the electric dipole. Kung na sila attraction, you can see here that they have this equipotential surface. So the more na moduol sila sa charge, ang equipotential surface, the more closer it is to the charge, the more dako ang iyang potential. Same with this. Okay. So basically, that is just all of the topics that is covered by electric potential energy and electric potential. So see you on the next video, which talks about, what's that on next video? Capacitance. Okay, we're gonna talk about capacitance. So see you then, and bye.